Recently, I realized just how great of a console the PSP is, but after realizing that, I realized that I don't actually own a PSP. So I decided to browse Mercari, eBay, Amazon, just any online marketplace really, for cheap PSPs. I eventually stumbled across a listing on eBay that was reasonably priced, and after haggling a bit with the seller, I managed to score it for about $40. However, as you can see in the photos, it's a bit scratched up and dirty, so I decided I'd try and repair it. I scoured Mercari, eBay, and Amazon again to find some PSP replacement parts. I ordered a new faceplate, a pack of screen protectors, and decided I wanted to give it a custom look, so I also ordered some white buttons and colored thumbsticks. I also bought a MicroSD card to PSP memory stick adapter, so that way I could hold more on my PSP without having to pay ridiculous prices for a high storage PSP memory card. Also, I managed to score another cheap PSP for about $30, thinking I'd be able to use it for parts and then either repair it to sell for profit or give to my girlfriend. Then I waited.
1 week later.
After about a week, everything I ordered came in, so it was time to get started. I started by repairing the second broken PSP I ordered just to get familiar with opening up and working with the console, and it turned out alright. The first thing I did after that was make a list to organize the steps I was going to take in order to do this project. I decided I was going to work on the hardware of the PSP, then modify the software, so I got the smallest screwdriver I could find and got to work. Everything was going smoothly until a couple of screws just refused to come out. I tried everything I could think of, but they just would not budge. They also broke my screwdriver. Now the only thing I could do was buy another screwdriver, and since I filmed this at about 11 PM, I couldn't just go out and buy one. Since I had to wait, and I'm impatient, I decided to push ahead with the project and reorder my steps. Now, instead of prioritizing the hardware, I decided to prioritize the software.
What the fuck?
As I've mentioned, I planned on modding this PSP, mostly so I don't have to pay the ridiculous prices that some of these games that I want to play go for. Persona 2 just is not worth that much. I know the PSP has a ton of emulators, but I was more interested in playing PSP games, PS1 games, fan translations, and homebrew games. So I didn't install any in this video. Modding was a very simple process. I just followed some tutorials from YouTubers, Robles Jr., and Mr. Mario 2011, and after downloading and transferring some files to the system, got it properly working in no time at all. I forgot to record my reaction to the ROMs loading on the modified handheld, but I did send a couple videos to my girlfriend, so here they are.
Yo, we got... Yo! Hold on. We gotta wait for it to boot. Hold on.
Something really cool about having a modded PSP that I forgot to mention was that I'm currently playing through Persona 1 on the PPSSPP emulator, which is a PSP emulator for PC, and I am able to transfer my save data from that emulator to my PSP by just dragging and dropping some files. It's really cool. So my game that I started on my PC can be finished on my PSP. Also, I added a Persona 3 wallpaper because it's the best Persona game on the PSP. I will not argue with Persona 1 and 2 fans.
The next day.
Now, after finally acquiring not just one new screwdriver, but a whole box of new screwdrivers, I tried again. However, I still had absolutely no luck, so I did the only thing left that I could think of. I tore off the PSP's entire shell. After finally getting access to the inside of the system, I cleaned everything up with a bit of isopropyl alcohol. That's a fun word to say. Isopropyl. The interior, the buttons, the pads for the buttons, everything. Then I got out my new faceplate, put all the buttons in, put the new faceplate on, put the new stick on, and now we're done.
Alright, so I just got everything fixed up. It all looks good. So I'm just gonna open a game to test all of it. I know that Persona 2 Innocent Sin can be controlled with the analog stick, or the main menu can. So let's see, because I know everything else works, it's just the analog stick that I'm worried about. What?
Just kidding, we are very, very far from done. After testing the PSP, I noticed a lot of problems. The The new D-pad would get stuck, some of the new buttons would get stuck, the stick was drifting, which, by the way, I had no idea why. It was awful. I really had no idea how to go about these issues, so I just kept assembling and disassembling systems and mixing and matching parts until something worked. I didn't film much of this because it wouldn't be very entertaining content, and it was incredibly tedious and both physically and mentally taxing. The entire process of this project took me about 7 hours. 7 long, painful hours that I honestly don't think were worth it. But after that monumental amount of time, this was the result.
We finally have this PSP, which is the way that it is because the white D-pad I ordered sucked and kept falling out. The square button in the white button set I ordered also it kept getting stuck. So I decided to do this design, which I actually like a lot. Then we have obviously the white buttons down here and the white stick. And this face shell is the old face shell from the other PSP that I ordered. And because of that, it's like sticking up in places. It's just, holy shit, this sucked.
I ended up gluing the sides down with super glue, which, while not elegant, was a very easy solution. We've also got to do our drift test.
We'll do it with PSP Minecraft. And yep, no drift.
Oh, also, I should mention that now I'm just left with a ton of extra PSP parts. I might eventually try and make those into another usable PSP like I was initially planning to, but after the way this project went, I don't think I'm going to be doing that anytime soon. Now that all of that's over, we're down to our final 2 steps, the first of which being applying a screen protector. Now, this is a very important step that is absolutely crucial to this process. That's right, adding a charm, but not just any charm, a charm of Elizabeth from Persona 3. I managed to get this charm fairly cheap on Mercari, and I adore it. Now that our custom PSP is complete, it's on to the glamour shots.
Here's a wake, anger breathes out, face reality, never be charity. The enemy you're fighting covers all society. Damn right, mommy's not here, gonna fight all night. Right here, shadow 10 o'clock direction. Seize the moment, destroy the nation. You rhyme slow motion.
Overall, I really like how my little handheld turned out, but I would do a lot differently. I went into the project thinking I knew what I was doing, but it turns out that I really wasn't. If I ever do another thing like this with another console, I'll make sure to do more research on proper console cleaning and disassembly and assembly. I'll also only buy official Sony PSP buttons in the future because half the third-party ones I bought didn't even work properly. So there you have it, my process of customizing and modding a PSP. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video by just showing off more gameplay from my PSP and showing off how amazing I am at Crazy Taxi. See ya!